Alright, now hopefully we should be good to go.
Alright.
It's a minor thing, but just trying to make it fair for everybody involved.
Yeah. That's, I was gonna say that's fair, but, you know, that's fair.
Okay, and we're off.
Alright. VeloxiTea immediately stumbling into his little gate here. Alright, now that we actually have the card that we can see, we can also discuss the card.
Yep. Let's see. Left side looks awful.
Yeah, 7 grubs in Crystal Peak, Hive Knight, Shade Cloak, and 20 grubs. All of those are really long goals. 2 extra notches. That one is kind of short if you know what you're doing, but it's still kind of awkward.
Really, all these sides are pretty terrible. Column 5 is maybe the best, having Queen Stag and King Stag, and then the 2 Soul Warriors. But then the other 3 are terrible. Fluke Hermit, Trader Lord, and Spell Twister and Shaman with 2 random items there.
Yeah, meanwhile, the very bottom requires at least 2 of those goals require Claw. Probably more of them. I mean, it depends, kind of. You can utilize Wings for Shape of Oon, or right, it's actually randomized, so never mind that.
That could be anywhere.
Yeah, Wings can work for grubs, I think, but Claw also works for that. So that one is kind of not really locked in very much. It seems like it's a somewhat poor Geo chest this seed around, with only like 160 Geo in it.
Well, both racers got the same amount, so that's good. It's a good start. We're on the same seed.
Yeah.
Probably.
Always nice to know that. VeloxiTea taking a few moments to farm some extra Geo. I guess he didn't enjoy how poor it was.
VeloxiTea is a big fan of farming Geo in the early game here. Mage has tended to do it too, so I don't know, kind of interesting. Yeah, it'll play out though nicely with this very low Geo drop, so they'll need a bit more.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, especially because a lot of, like, you're gonna check all the shops early, and shops can be very expensive. And you really do not want to get stuck having to farm the Husk Guardians. That's really slow. If we look at the second rows of the board here, they're also all pretty slow.
Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty long race, I think. I mean, this board is terrible, so...
It also has Colosseum Sowed, so we'll have to see if they get into a position where they can draw even. Because that's a possibility right now. Or a risk, I should say.
That would be really interesting. I kind of want to see a draw in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think we've had one yet.
No, it's very, very unlikely that it would ever happen. But,
yeah,
you know, we saw a race that was 12-9 or whatever, so, you know.
Yeah, because it requires, like, both players need to have an ineligible goal, and then both players need to get 12 goals on top of that.
Yep.
It's exceedingly rare.
It's possible, though. That's why it's included in the bracket stuff or whatever as a point value.
Huh, really?
Yep. Wins are 5 points, ties are 2 points, and losses are 0 points.
That's interesting.
So that would give someone who tied a little bit more power than someone who did not. You know, so.
Yeah, it makes sense. It seems like Mage has farmed some more Geo and is slightly behind because of it, but we'll see if that pays off with the shops later. This early in the game, the very minor riding decisions probably won't influence anything. It would be like if they find a random drop immediately after False Night or something that allows them to access to the board.
Meanwhile, VeloxiTea heading in to unlock this stag a little bit early. There's a very, very edge case scenario where unlocking this stag pays off. And that would mostly be a routing decision, so I think a lot of people are starting to do it because they've seen other people do it. It's probably something that I myself will start the cutout from the routing. Ooh, an unfortunate death from VeloxiTea. He didn't sit on the bench there
smack
either.
like a champ.
Oh, he's way back at Dirtmouth too.
He didn't bench. So he opened the stag station, but he did not bench at the station. Unfortunate, because Dirtmouth is not open yet, because you actually need to return there for it to open.
Yep. So this is like
so
a 2-minute time loss.
All the way around. That is a long time loss. Out of curiosity, what is that edge case where opening the stag station pays off?
The edge case would be if you find something at False Knight or in the mound, that would be a Balder kill where you immediately want to head left out of there instead of going back right. It would be an early green path play or an early fungal play. So then you could come back to that stag station from green path or something, and you don't have to unlock it later.
Right.
Like
I see. I can.
It's very rare that anyone would do that, but that would be the only scenario where getting that stag early would be beneficial.
I actually see another advantage to opening that stag. If the seed turns out that you kind of have to go through the dark room and you're not necessarily entirely comfortable with the dark room, opening that stag station allows you to sit at the bench in Crystal Peaks and get back quickly via the resting ground stag.
Mm-hmm. Normally,
but I mean, I suppose
you
can always open the station after you checked everything.
Yeah, normally you're going to check False Knight, check the mound, head right, sit at that bench anyway for the Salubra Shade skip, and then save quit back, and then stag up to Dirtmouth. It's kind of the general route anyway, but if you want it to be a little unorthodox, it makes sense to get that stag. That's about it. And False Knight is steady body.
Nothing particularly useful in this seed, I do not think, because steady body is not in the card. It can be one of the randomized goals, if I recall correctly, but it's not there today. I'm actually a big fan of the play where you check False Knight and Mound, and then immediately go to resting grounds without even going back down for the bench in Forgotten Crossroads. So opening the stag early in those cases works out. It's probably not optimal, but it's just a play I personally enjoy.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing that's really fun about, you know, this game mode is a lot of different plays have personalities almost to them, and different runners will do different things consistently because they just like them. Whether
or they're comfortable
or
with
not,
them.
you know.
Yeah, like Fluke Nest.
That was my favorite play ever. I was so excited.
I'll be honest, I was too. It didn't work out. Or it kind of worked out, but not the way I wanted it. But regardless, they're both fighting bosses right now. Mage with the Grandmother and the VeloxiTea doing False Knight. We already know that there's nothing valuable behind False Knight, unfortunately. So.
What was that?
It's unfortunate.
Did he go to Mound? Was it just Geo?
I think it was just Geo in the Mound. A small amount of Geo too.
I wasn't paying attention.
No, I'll be honest, I've forgotten it. But it was probably just Geo in that case. Because we don't see any other pickups from his side. But he does have like 100 more money.
Right.
Probably a small Geo pickup. Well, Mage did spend a lot of time farming Geo, so maybe that's just Geo that he farmed.
Yeah, he might have just save quit before going to Mound, but I thought I recalled him going there. He didn't check it.
Both players, interestingly enough, decided to pick up City Crest, and if you do it properly, picking up City Crest does not lose you any time, but neither player did it the proper way, so they both actually lost time there. With VeloxiTea losing slightly more, I think.
VeloxiTea or Mage not setting up a shade skip, just gonna go check the shops.
Nothing interesting at Slam, unfortunately.
Nope. And deep focus in the Mound.
So far, we have not seen anything valuable. This might just be a Darkroom seed.
It's looking that way. Eastma's tier.
Might not be a Darkroom seed. Well, do you actually access anything with these mist here?
Oh yeah, that opens up green path and fungal.
Oh yeah, because it allows access to Fog Canyon.
That's one of my it's one of my favorite ways to open a seed, because it's so weird. It's so easy
Yeah,
to forget about that entrance to Fog Canyon when, you know, you do it in a speed run all the time. Like almost every category goes through that shortcut, but it's so easy to forget about it in randomizer.
yeah, because like it's very rare that that's the only access you have into the rest of the world. It's looking like Mage is going to go. He did buy the tier, but he's gonna go into Resting Grounds anyway, it seems.
I don't mind this. I mean, either play is probably fine at this point.
Yeah, Resting Grounds is a quick four item checks. Two of them we won't find out yet because, well, it seems like both might be going there. Or hold on, Mage never checked Salubra, so it could be that VeloxiTea checks Salubra instead.
Yep.
It does in fact look like he's setting up for that. But yeah, we won't be able to see all the checks that Mage gets here due to him running in Chinese. And I mean, I don't know about Mage, but I can't read Chinese.
I can't. Can anyone in chat read Chinese? Help us out with the checks at 500 and 900 essence?
Yeah, or if you can just like open Google Translate, that'd be great.
And type the Chinese characters on your American keyboard or English keyboard or whatever keyboard you have.
Yeah, better be fast typers. But yeah, so we're gonna see two checks. Technically four, but again, we can't read two of them.
Just use modlog? Yeah, but I don't want to open up my game and create one.
It is a fair point, but I submit the counterpoint that I am lazy and do not feel like doing that.
Call him Anthony. Nice. That's true.
Meanwhile, Mage actually having a pretty good darkroom. He's taken a few stops, but he didn't really take any. He took one hit at the very end, but he did a very good darkroom. Never fell off or anything like that. Meanwhile, it looks like VeloxiTea is setting up for his shade skip.
Mage must have practiced that darkroom a lot, because I know at the beginning of the tournament, he voiced some concerns about it. You know, he just said he didn't like doing it very much. But makes it through no problem.
Yeah. Speaking of somebody who has practiced it a lot, that was definitely the movement of somebody who has practiced it a lot.
Oh yeah.
He was very, very safe in his maneuvering in general. While actually taking this shaded placement a little bit carefully. And Mage doing the smart thing here of not jumping down the platform. Jumping down the platform is actually faster in normal speedruns because that counts loadless. But randomizers does include loads because you're just competing against another person. So minimizing load timing is actually somewhat important to do if you can.
Especially since we use a load normalizer to make it fair between racers with different hardware strength. So it artificially extends the loads to 3 seconds, and in a lot of cases where it would make sense to do it in a speed run, even, you know, transitioning for a bench that's unlocking or something like that, it doesn't make sense here because you're actually losing 6 seconds. And Mothwing Cloak is at Dreamnail.
Oh, that is very lucky for Mage. That is incredibly lucky. Alright, 2 item checks that I have no idea what it was. I guess we might find out one day. Ooh, and nothing useful at Salubra, I do not think. No, does not seem that way. This means that Mage has quite a significant advantage at the moment.
Oh, did Mage just soft lock there?
It looks like he did. Is that actually a possible... I had no idea that could soft lock.
Sean! Sean, fix your shit!
Fix your shit! I actually had no idea that you could soft lock there. How did that happen? Mick trying to grab the attention of VeloxiTea.
Veloxity, wake up.
Wow, it looks like VeloxiTea wins this race with lots of goals. Oh, never mind. I guess the judge took them away for being improperly marked.
We'll let VeloxiTea pause for. Oh, okay, never mind. This is fine. What's unfortunate about this though is that Mage is gonna, or no, he got the progress for it, so he still has the items.
Yeah, but his tracker has now broken, so we cannot see what he's got.
Yeah. You just get a giant black box now for his tracker.
Luckily, it didn't seem like he lost too much time on it. Did he actually lose any time on that, really? Because he got back to Forgotten Crossroads immediately. I guess he didn't open the station, so he's gonna have to go back the long way if he wants to go back to Resting Grounds. So that's gonna hurt him a bit.
Unfortunate that his tracker is this broken, though. I mean, we'll just have to pay attention, I guess, to what he has, but I'm not gonna tell him to stop just to fix the tracker.
Nah.
Oh, and there goes his stream. What? Did you lose his stream too?
I did, in fact, lose his stream.
What is happening?
We are experiencing more technical difficulties than we are entirely comfortable with.
What is this race? Is he still going?
VeloxiTea ain't letting up. He's not letting these little obstacles stop him from going fast.
Oh my god.
And it seems like Mage is back on my end. This has been a thoroughly confusing event, but his tracker is back online.
Okay.
So that is positive.
Everyone go. Go, go, go. Oh my god.
And with that, VeloxiTea deciding to actually go into Fungal Wastes and Green Path. This is unfortunate, because we know where Dash is. And it's not in his way. Of course, he can't know that because...
Yeah, we're playing red light, green light today on Rando. This is nice now for Mage though, because since he has VS, he can go and check both items in the mound, and it'll be really quick with Dash.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of putting off that check. The detriment, of course, being that so early on, every check could be something really good.
Like the race a couple days ago where Claw and Wings were both in the mound.
Yeah, and if you don't check mound in those cases, you're gonna be so behind.
Looked like VeloxiTea was checking his map there really quick. VeloxiTea has said that during these races, he likes to keep a map up of the world just in case. Not being quite as familiar with the Rando as, you know, some more experienced runners.
Yeah.
He's going to go get
Seems
this
like he's
notch.
trying to take a bath.
What's he doing here?
Unfortunately, this notch is not accessible to him yet.
Oh, he just soft locked too by dropping down here, I think. Unless he can pogo up.
He might be able to pogo the Gelly.
Nope, we're stuck.
And he gets the non-balance of that Gelly. So he's gonna enjoy his bath while he save quits.
That's a first. I've not seen that play before.
No, it's a play I've not seen either. I hesitate to call it a great play, but it's certainly an interesting play. If he had a claw, it would have actually worked out pretty well, but claw has not been found yet.
Did VeloxiTea end up going to the mound? It didn't look like it.
VeloxiTea did visit the mound, where he found deep focus.
It doesn't look like he went and killed the Balder, though.
No, Mage seems to have just gotten the one thing from there. Until before he went into Fog Canyon. He's gonna go for this extra relic here. A relic I actually had difficulty finding at first, because I didn't know that existed. But Mage actually has a spell, so he should be able to get it. I don't know why he wouldn't check it.
Yeah, I don't know either. If you're already going to the mound and you get deep focus there, we know that he checked at least VS because he got deep focus, but I don't think he checked Soul Catcher, which is a little confusing considering he was right there, but...
I mean, maybe he just didn't remember that he could check it or something.
Maybe.
That happens in randomizers. You very often forget things. Because there's so many things you need to remember. The game is quite large, and there's many things and paths you have to remember, and it's not unreasonable to think that he just forgot.
And the other thing on top of that too is during randomizer, you're playing the game in a way that normally you don't ever play it. So you get your skills in a really weird order, and sometimes it's very difficult to remember what you actually have at that given point in time.
Yeah, exactly, and it can be a bit awkward at times. This is interesting though. Both of the runners are trying to get back down into fungal wastes, but Mage has dash, so he's gonna clear this a lot faster and safer in general.
Yeah, Mage has an enormous item advantage at the moment.
Yeah. And most of it really just comes down to him having had some extra time to check resting grounds because the unfortunate slap death from VeloxiTea.
Yeah. That, and then also being soft-locked by choice in the notch room.
True, but that... I don't think that lost him as much time as the death, comparatively speaking.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely not. The death was at least 2 minutes lost.
Yeah. And the cloak. More or less.
Yeah. For every minute that goes by now that Mage has cloak and VeloxiTea doesn't, this is like just free time that he's gaining because you can move so much faster.
Yeah, the cloak actually speeds up like 3 times as much or something. It's enormously fast comparatively. I believe Amalfi told me the comparison that if you do some there's a he was doing a run where he wasn't getting the cloak and he got to the claw, and apparently when he did the same thing but he got the cloak first, he still reached the claw at the same time, but he now also had cloak. So it's an incredible time save to have.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even just see it in his combat effectiveness. Killing the ogre is taking so much longer because he doesn't have the dash. Meanwhile, Mage gonna give us a quick look up there.
Did he just lock again?
I think so. Finding the crystal dash though, and locking with that. But we did see the save icon, so we know that he did save that.
Does everyone have their mods up to date? What is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to just be a very unfortunate day.
And we've lost stream again.
I imagine that he's going offline to reset the tracker. It's my best guess. Because, like, last time that happened, he didn't have a tracker, and now he's probably gonna come back and have one. I guess we'll see. This is simultaneously a blessing for VeloxiTea. He's getting back this time that he's losing because of Mage having the dash.
All right, Mage is back live.
With the tracker. So that's probably why he does that. Even with this, Mage still probably has the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Really curious.
Because that's just how big Dash is. Not to mention the spells.
Mage double checking that he does have Crystal Heart.
It's always a good thing to do before or once you crashed. Having Crystal Dash also, especially in Green Path and Fungal Waste, but really most areas which are wide, it speeds you up significantly too. But the very early game is very wide in general.
Yeah, the conversion between the two is if you're going to be dashing more than 4 times without Dash Master, it's more worth it to use Crystal Heart, even though the difference is very small. If you have Dash Master, then the break-even point becomes 5 dashes. But yeah, it's that balance between using the two takes a little bit of experience to get used to.
Yeah. And if you don't have Dash, which VeloxiTea is going to be in the situation soon,
yep.
The distance is apparently 1 dash distance, and it becomes more worth it to use Crystal Dash.
Yeah, the dash, it's almost worth it to use Crystal Heart basically everywhere if you're just walking. The disparity between speeds is so large.
Slow comparatively.
I mean, the speeds in general are, when you're walking, you're moving at 8.3 units per second. If you're using Crystal Heart, you're moving at 30. So that's a huge difference in speed. So it's essentially worth it to just Crystal Dash everywhere.
Yeah. VeloxiTea having some difficulty getting past this, but then remembering he has Crystal Dash. So they are both heading to Mantis Village. Check this. And unless this is a verticality upgrade, this is going to be another soft lock and save and quit. But it's going to be a lot easier for VeloxiTea to get this check due to the dash. This check is horrendous to get without dash.
Yeah, we saw that in the race yesterday, and I missed what it was.
Yeah, it was 80 Geo at Claw, so it was nothing valuable. We will see how much time VeloxiTea spends on getting this. It's a very unfortunate position for him to be in.
Yeah, he needs to go and check resting grounds immediately.
Yeah. I believe he's now seeing the difficulty of this.
Just abandon this. There's no reason to be here. I mean, he
yeah,
obviously doesn't know that,
There are still
but...
plenty of checks for him to get. He can still go to resting grounds. Oh, almost getting the Mantis Pogo, but just barely not doing it. That is unfortunate. Would have been really cool too. But yeah, the best option that VeloxiTea has, even not knowing it, or like knowing the items there, I think is resting grounds, because that's still 2 quick checks that he can do. And he does have the Crystal Dash to speed up the time it takes to travel there.
Yep.
And he basically needs to go there to be put back in the race. Every moment he wastes here is it's terrible.
It is. Fortunately for VeloxiTea, that this card is atrocious, so it's not going to be as big of a deal as if it were a shorter card, but it's still... I mean, you're still just losing time every second that he's not going to resting grounds.
Yeah, I believe even at this point it would have been faster to actually just save quit to reset this room and get the pogo from there instead, because this room is a lot easier to pogo through when the Mantis hangs off the wall.
One thing to note as well is these Mantis youths respawn on transition, so he could go to the right, leave the room, and come back and have all of them respawned.
Oh, that's true. I actually forgot that they do that.
It's only the large ones that spawn on bench, so...
Meanwhile, Mage is checking the Soul Catcher, finally. So we are about to see what that is.
We have a lot of movement, but we still need verticality. And it's not there.
Shape of Boon.
But we have a side that has been claimed.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. He marked the goal.
Oh, I see. It doesn't show up on his screen.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up on his stream, but it is on the actual bingo card, so he has marked it.
Yeah, I saw it be marked afterwards on the restream. That's why I was hesitating there for a moment. I was wondering for a second if he was gonna keep it stored, if he wanted another side or something. Generally speaking, I find that most cards, it's like if you're not on the board, or if nobody's on the board and you find a randomized goal, I generally find it's just worth taking it anyway. Like, even if it's not the best side for you to get, it's still, like, you got a free goal, basically, and it actually locks you in to the point where you can start planning out your routing now, and, like, how you actually want to go for goals, instead of just mindlessly running around trying to get checks, you know?
Yeah, the phase 1 of invasion is very important, where you claim the sides of the board. Yeah, I always like to rush to get the first goal between the two racers, because that gives you a huge power advantage where you get to choose essentially what goals you're going to be completing. It's not the end of the world at all for Velocity, you know, to be on the top side of the board, but I always like to just get the first goal whenever I can.
Yeah, same. It's just so helpful to start getting a structure on what you're gonna do and, like, be able to plan it out. Meanwhile, Velocity going off to the station. This is unfortunately not a valid goal for him anymore, but he might still get it just for the movement options it provides. And this jump is very precise if you do not have wings or dash.
Oh, that sucks so much.
Ouch.
Oof.
That is a painful death. But yeah, like I was saying, that jump is very precise if you do not have any kind of movement items. It's possible, but it's very, very close.
This is two very unfortunate deaths for Velocity.
Yeah, and he's still not going off to resting grounds. Maybe he's trying to get the bench and then going to resting grounds? Or getting the queen station, I mean. Meanwhile, Mage continually just extending his lead, checking a green path.
Yep. This is what we talked about. Like, every minute that Mage has dash, this is a huge advantage. Just gonna keep gaining time on where Velocity is.
So I guess the important question now is Sot dead or not? Because Sot is on this card, and if neither player rescues him, it could theoretically be a tie.
I don't know that we fully understand the trigger to Zot dying.
No, I've heard that it is if you have Claw and Hornet is defeated, but I've gone there without Hornet being defeated, and he's been dead. So.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what the trigger is for that. It's probably something to do with Claw and visiting an area, maybe? I don't even know.
No, I've had him dead without even having the Claw. So I think it's... I genuinely have no idea.
Yeah.
But the best guess I have is it's checking for, like, items or, like, item finds in general. Not shards, but, like, you know, movement items in general.
It might be. But Desolate Dive...
That is... Oh, but he does not have the resting ground stag because he crashed out of there. So that's going to take him a while to get back to, unfortunately.
Oh, that's true. He doesn't have that stag.
Yeah, it still opens up a lot of options for him. But not quite as fast as you would like.
Yeah, he'll have to do the dark room again. Granted, he has a ton of movement, so it won't be that difficult, but... that crash being very unfortunate for him.
Yeah,
being
it's
like 2 rooms away.
Yeah, it's got a sting right now. But he seems like he just wants to finish off green path first.
Which I think is the right play. I mean, you're here, so.
Velocity buying the stag station, but not using it. I don't know what his plan is. Is he gonna go back to Mantis Village?
Looks like he's going the green path.
Not a terrible choice at this point, but still not the one I think is the best. Like, again, resting grounds is 4 quick checks, and he's got everything he needs to get there. He does have everything he needs to check most of the things in Green Path. He can't check the Thorns of Agony, but he can check everything else. I'm fairly sure.
Except for Balder Shell. He doesn't have a Balder kill item right now.
The early things. He can't actually check Great Slash or Shape of Un yet. I don't think. No, he doesn't have any verticality. You need verticality for Shape of Un.
Yep.
So he actually can't. He can check most of the early game checks except for Thorns. So really not that many checks. I don't really know what VeloxiTea's game plan is right now. Maybe he's just gonna go check the... Is he...
Probably just gonna kill Hornet and see what's there.
I'm not sure what VeloxiTea is doing, because he can't get access to the mound. He needs some form of verticality for that.
Oh, VeloxiTea. Yeah, he's going the wrong way. There's nothing he can do here, unless he wants to get the seal. I was looking at the other screen.
Yeah.
Mage is gonna check Hornet here, or maybe he's gonna go out to Balder Shell and check that first, but...
Yeah. I'm starting to... Oh, that was interesting. I did not know you could Crystal Dash to skip that text box on Hornet.
Well, Hornet only has one text box in randomizer anyway.
True, and I mean, it's not like it's gonna matter in any actual speedrunning category, because you're not gonna have Crystal Dash by the time you fight Hornet.
Right.
But it was interesting to see.
Really fast fight, though. And
wow.
wings.
VeloxiTea, or Mage, basically has every single movement item in the game. This is terrible for VeloxiTea.
VeloxiTea now realizing you can't make it.
Yeah, VeloxiTea is spending a lot of time doing this, and he just can't get anything here. This means that, yeah, Mage immediately capitalizing on getting that verticality movement and checking Shape of Un. That's good presence on his part, knowing that now he can go there immediately.
Absolutely. The good news for VeloxiTea is that he's on the way to wings right now, and since verticality is the most important part of this, yeah, he's losing time not having dash, which really sucks, but wings is really more important than having dash, and he's on his way there.
Yeah, he does have Crystal Dash, which makes up for not having dash slightly. It's still rough, but it's much more manageable. I missed what was at Shape of Un, but it looked like it was Howling Wraiths.
Yep, Wraiths. And he didn't get locked this time, so...
So that's nice. Even though this would probably be the one place where locking would actually not matter in the slightest.
Right.
Because he was gonna save warp immediately anyway, and there's nothing more to open there. So, will VeloxiTea go check the Green Path chest first? He will. Will he kill Moss Charger, though?
He's not. Interesting. I think I would. It's a very quick 300 Geo.
Yeah, exactly, and it only takes 19 nail strikes. It's a very quick kill. Probably one of the better Geo farms in the game.
Yeah, it really is, especially if he gives you the dashing attack first. Because then you just sit there and you press X a bunch. Or a nail swing a bunch, whatever your nail swing button is.
Yeah.
And
so...
Geo.
85 Geo, so they found all the really crappy Geo nodes at this point.
I think is that vanilla for that one?
That might be the case. I actually don't know what that chest contains. I haven't checked that chest in like I haven't vanilla checked that chest in literally years.
I know that chest is like 80 or 85 or something. It's a low Geo check.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh, and Mage got the Defender's Crest.
Yeah,
which is actually used for a goal here. Talk to Lem with quest equipped.
Went and bought it from Sly.
Yeah, speaking of that goal, Mage actually has access to... He's got access to 2 rows, but most of the goals now are locked by things he does not have. He could theoretically go to the collector, I think.
He could, because he has Shape of Un now.
Yeah, but doing it right now is actually terrible.
Yeah, agreed, for sure.
Zero needs Dream Nail, Shade Cloak. He's got to find the other copy of Dash, so that's also a random find. He could go to Lem, of course. He's seemingly prepared for that, and that would probably be his best option at this point. I think I would go over there as soon as possible, and then get the Queen Stag and King Stag station.
Yep. This board is so bad. Like, I don't think we can emphasize enough how terrible this board actually is. There's so many random goals that this will basically just be a randomizer seed, like for the seed itself and for the bingo, because there's so many random goals on this board. They're just gonna be searching forever for everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mage finding the Watch and Eye chest by the Thorns of Agony. So he's really rich now. He's got a lot of relics too, so once he decides to pass by Lem, he's gonna have a lot of money.
Well,
although he does need to go to Lem twice if he decides to sell relics. Because
can you... I know we've asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. Can you talk to Lem and then sell to him from the right side using the randomizer quality of life thing?
I actually don't know that.
I know it was answered before by Sean, but I don't remember the answer.
My immediate hope is that it's no. But it might be possible.
Where...
Seems like you're being told to remember your shit, Mick.
Remember my shit? I don't remember. Also, I've had a little bit of rum, so calm down.
Great to know. So I am apparently co-commentating with a slightly drunk individual.
Just slightly drunk. It's fine.
Meanwhile, VeloxiTea making his way up to Hornet 2, and I'm not sure, can you use Crystal Dash to get over to Hornet without having to fight the Moss Guardian here?
Nope, you can't. It's like a 1 pixel difference. You can't make that gap.
Yeah, I recall it was like just a few pixels off, but I wasn't entirely sure. And of course, because VeloxiTea has none of the spells, because he didn't find Vengeful Spirit, which was basically the key to all of them, he's gonna have to do this the slow way. Mage just continuing to extend this lead. Mage looking to go for a Howling Wraiths himself now, it seems. But Mage actually has wings, so he can get it.
Mage saved Zote, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I specifically remember
but
him
I
doing
forgot.
that because that's on the cards. Trust me, I've been keeping careful watch on whether they're gonna soft like they see it or not. It seems like, oh no, this is a very much a mistake from VeloxiTea, because defeating Colosseum Zote is on his side of the board. Having that, I mean, he's already here. Having that be an option he can keep open is, I think, so important for him. And he's not doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't take that much time to do, and it's Geo, and it's a goal. There's really no reason not to. I mean, it's not the end of the world. There's probably... Finding items for him is more important right now, but I mean, there's still no reason not to save Zote there right now.
Yeah, but the risk here he's taking is that he could actually lock himself out completely from winning.
He could, potentially.
Which is not a risk I would be comfortable taking.
Cyclone Slash being found at Wraiths. Not all that useful.
So VeloxiTea really has found most of the actual abilities in the game right now.
He's just doing an all skills run. It's fine.
Yeah. We're gonna see him go kill the Hollow Knight at any moment now.
Just need to find Dreamnail first, then I'll go kill all the Dreamers.
Yeah. Speaking of Dreamers, there are no Dreamers on this card, so if he does decide to go for Hollow Knight, that's not gonna help him.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate swag, though? Just go and kill Hollow Knight, then come back in and beat your opponent?
I mean, it really would. I would love to see that, but it would also be so, like...
That'd be the biggest BM ever.
It would be hilarious, though.
I'm gonna do that to Hamathity tomorrow.
Yeah, totally, man. I'm rooting for you. No, but I'm all for doing the slightly BM plays. So I would heartily recommend it. Mage trying to get some work on the Kings and Queen Stag. I very much feel like he's gonna go for that combo. VeloxiTea meanwhile beating up Hornet.
Mage changing his mind here. Probably gonna go back to Crossroads Stag. Do the wing skip past Salubra and then go into City of Tears.
Yeah, I wonder if it's not faster for him to actually take the Dark Room.
No, it'll absolutely be faster to do this shade skip. Looks like VeloxiTea's gonna go check Shape of Un.
Can he? Oh yeah, he can actually get that too, yeah. So, it's not a bad idea. He will get a spell from that. But he does seem to forget that he can Crystal Dash this distance. Which is an enormous time loss on his side.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing probably 20 seconds in this room alone.
Yeah,
okay, that might be an exaggeration,
the whole ship is
but
probably like at least 30 seconds time loss. If not, almost like 40. It's huge. Meanwhile, Mage having some difficulty getting this shade skip because he's fighting too hard for these guys to keep up with him.
Fluke Hermit requires having dive, and I'm not sure if it requires claw, but it
requires claw.
It does? Yeah, it does, because the room before him is very tall. So yeah, it requires claw and dive.
Alternatively, I wonder, is it possible, if you have wings, would it be possible to get Fluke Hermit by beating the first two Pantheons and then flying up? I feel like that's not possible. I'm almost certain that's not possible, but, you know, I'm just wondering.
I mean, if you're going to go to that length, I'm just going to give you the goal anyway.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just wondering. That would also be like a really swaggy strat, right? Can you imagine that? Like playing a randomizer and you hear that your opponent just went in and beat like the first two Pantheons just for that one goal?
No, I can't imagine that.
No, I mean, that would be so silly. Not the least because you have to beat all the bosses before that, you know?
Yeah, that too.
It would be so slow. Mage finally getting this stag here.
Fluke Hermit, which is on the board, is a Godmaster goal.
But I think that's also one of the few Godmaster goals there because, I mean, nobody in their right mind is actually going to put the Pantheons on the board.
Yeah, I was never going to do that. So Fluke Hermit and Pale Lurker are the two Godmaster goals that were added to the board.
Yeah. The only, like, I could see maybe somebody could do an argument for Pantheon 1 being fast enough to be eligible for being a goal, but it requires so much repetition that it's like why would you have it, you know?
Yeah, it's not interesting enough really to add to the board.
Yeah. It's a shame, really. If you didn't have to beat all the bosses once before to open the Pantheons, maybe it would have been interesting enough to have there, but it is how it is.
Mage finding nothing here in the grave. Dash slash and quick slash.
It does bring him one step closer to getting the Name Master's Glory, and quick slash is in fact a goal. So he now has one goal in reserve.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's all the way over on the other side of the board. Which makes this
there it
play
is.
for King Station and Lem even better.
Yeah, he's
Velocity's
gonna...
still not checking resting grounds. He must be really uncomfortable with that dark room, or forgot it.
Well, he doesn't even need to do the dark room now. He has wings, so he can do the shade skip at Salubra easily with this to get over there.
There is really no... Again, resting grounds is 4 quick checks. There is no reason whatsoever that he should not be checking that.
One advantage he will have here is that Mage did not check Sports Room, so we'll get to see what this is.
Yeah, if Sports Room is the second dash, then maybe that can put him back in the game, but if it's not, like, he's losing so much time. I believe Bardoon is accessible without Claw, but it's a very precise wing skip, right?
I don't think it's that precise. I've never actually really tried it. To be honest, I haven't had Bardoon on my board ever, except for once.
Yeah, I've not done it either. I just seem to recall that it was precise, but I could be wrong.
Okay, Velocity getting lucky that he didn't kill the shade there.
But he's gonna kill the shade with this strike, so he better get this skip now. And I believe he's positioned really badly for this skip too. It's much easier if you actually stand on that little platform there.
Yep, now he is. The leash distance of your shade here is about right at that the corner of the right side there, so you need to hit your shade right before it crosses that threshold. Otherwise, it will go back.
Yeah, it's a decently precise placement for the shade. Meanwhile, Mage is making his way over to Lem, as predicted. This is a good play. Like it's gonna get him 3 goals if he does this. So it's definitely the play to make.
Has he unlocked King Stag?
I'm not sure, but it's right there, right? So
I'm gonna mark it because I think he has. We'll see if he marks it when he does this triple snipe, but
yeah, I would imagine that he's done it. He didn't unlock the gate for some reason. I guess he just doesn't predict he's gonna come back this way again, ever. Which, I mean, that's probably not a wrong assumption. He can open up the Lem shortcut. Velocity having a bit of trouble with this flying mushroom here.
yep, you can do this, but these guys are very annoying. I don't think they even respond to your position. They just kind of move around on their own.
They just fly around. This gets a lot easier if you actually just strike him to the left. To like force him to be closer to that edge.
Heavy body actually useful? What?
Yeah,
Or
but
heavy
it's
blow?
possible to do even without
Heavy body? What am I talking about?
You're drunk, Mick. Go home.
I am home. And it's
Yes,
Geo.
that should be a goal there. And we'll see if he marks the stag stations as well.
You gotta save quit now. Velocity.
Yeah, Velocity soft like himself, all for 150 Geo. This is not a very good position for Velocity to be in at all.
Well, now we gotta hope that something is at Mantis Lords.
I'm just hoping that Velocity realizes that he can go to resting grounds. We're almost 50 minutes in and he still hasn't gotten the cloak, which Mage has had since like the 20-minute mark. This is an incredible amount of time that he's behind.
Yep. Quick slash and
with
steady
that-
body? What is this, Reddit?
And interestingly enough, Mage equipping Quick Slash, but not marking the goal.
There he goes.
Oh, never mind. I was just wondering if he had missed the goal or if he was having a plan, but no, he just missed it.
He probably forgot about it and then realized, oh shit, wait, I actually have this.
Yeah, I imagine that's what happened. It can happen every now and then. And it seems like he's going off to Kingdom's Edge. I'd imagine that he's gonna go want to talk to Bardoon.
Yep. This makes sense, just to snipe this goal. Probably the
Yeah,
easiest one that Velocity has on his side, so...
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, if he can, you know. Velocity does have access to this goal as well, at the moment. So, I mean, Mage doesn't know, but if Velocity was working towards this goal, this could be a big time waste for Mage. Luckily, for Mage at least, Velocity is not working towards it. And yeah, he's definitely going for Bardoon right now.
Looks like Velocity is going to go to Mantis Lords.
I deeply disagree with this play.
I mean, at this point, you kind of have to just find something. As much as it sucks to be in Velocity's situation, like, this is a check that's very easily missed. Because Mantis Lords require verticality to even check the two chests there. If you're Velocity, you know that it's possible that Mage didn't check this, and we know that Mage didn't check this.
That was pretty
so maybe it's Claw. We never know.
Yeah, it could be. But the reason I disagree with this check deeply at the moment is because it's a very long check for two items, when he has a very quick check for 4 items over Resting Grounds. That's why I think this is a very poor choice of a check right now. Add to that we know where Dash is, and, you know, I mean, he doesn't know that, so...
Right.
But even without that knowledge, I still think this is a very poor decision to make. It's on par with going to Fluke Marm early.
I don't know if it's quite that extensive, but...
No, you're right. Fluke Marm is probably a bit worse.
You can almost infer that Mage has Dash at this point, though, if you're Velocity. It'd be almost a stretch. But the fact that Velocity has, or that Mage has 5 goals already, I mean, that kind of lends itself to say that he has something you don't. And can move faster than you are. So, granted, Velocity has died like 3 times at very inopportune moments, but still.
Yeah, I also just personally like to think that after 30 minutes, my opponent has Dash. Like, I know that they might not have, but I just usually go with the assumption that after 30 minutes, my opponent probably has Dash.
Yeah. It's usually pretty safe assumption, but we've also seen races where it's been 2.5 hours of both racers walking, so...
Yeah, or like a race I had very recently where I spent the whole race without Dash, while my opponent had it.
I find it pretty funny, actually, when both racers are just walking for 2 hours.
I mean, it's something to see, all right. It also makes it incredibly slow.
It does. That's why the races usually take that long, but it's still pretty funny to me.
So what is Mage gonna go for now? He does not have... I think Mage needs to find stuff, doesn't he? No, I think he can get the 5 grubs in Deepest. No, that requires Claw for the Beast then, does it not?
I think, yeah, you're right. It actually does require Claw to get that last grub.
No, you can do a really
get
funky shade skip. You can do a funky shade skip to get the one in Beast then.
Oh boy, that would suck though. I think this is... He looks like he's going to Crystal Peak, which I think is correct. To do 2 Soul Warriors, that would be the fastest one for sure.
Yeah, I imagine that too. I was just thinking, like, what good options does he have? And Soul Warriors is probably the only one that he even has available to him at the moment. I mean, he could get 20 grubs, but I generally find that grub golds, unless they are, you know, like X grubs in this area, grub goals are more of just a thing you constantly work towards while you're doing other things. It's not a specific goal in itself that you work towards, if that makes sense.
Yep. Although, Velocity is currently leading in that category with 4 grubs.
Yeah, he might snipe that goal.
He's 2 grubs closer to that goal right now.
That's 10% more than Velocity is, or than Mage is to that goal.
Now it's 5%.
Unfortunate. But yeah, I would, if I was Mage, I would probably check all of Crystal Peaks, because Crystal Peaks does have a lot of items, and he does have a lot of... he has everything he needs to check this.
So, VeloxiTea save quit from Claw? Why?
Did he not kill Mantis Lords?
No. Did he... It looked like he was going to the Mantis Lord's, like, switch or whatever, and then just didn't?
No, he did get the switch, I know that, because he entered the room with the Mantis Lords, but he stopped just before them. I remember him looking down. I don't know why he decided not to do Mantis Lords.
Didn't have enough health, maybe? I don't know. But still, I don't even know. I don't understand what's going on.
Meanwhile, Mage having some difficulty with the Crystal Guardian. Was down to 1 HP for a second there.
Oof. Should have no problem beating him here.
Not gonna lie, I'm vaguely hoping to see a death.
Oh boy. Down the one
Nothing
again.
personal towards Mage, but I want to see this race be have some exciting stuff. He did kill Crystal Guardian. So we're not gonna have a death here. No excitement, unfortunately.
Yep. CG1 is quite a pushover. So.
Mage is taking the really slow way into City of Tears.
This is...
I don't think I've seen this way taken into City of Tears in the randomizer.
No, this is a very slow way to do this. Entering city from left side is almost never worth it.
Yeah, because it doesn't give you access to anything useful. It gives you access to the Soul Sanctum, but I don't think... But you need Claw for that access.
Dies.
Which he does... Oh. This is... I mean, to be honest, there's nothing for him in City of Tears anyway that he can get, I don't think. So...
He could go do Soulmaster, but if you're gonna do that, just enter from the right side. Don't enter from the left side.
Yeah, because getting to Soulmaster from left side also requires you to do some weird enemy pogos.
Yeah.
If you only have wings.
They're really weird and really awkward. You may as well just go from the right side.
Yeah, because that's going to be faster anyway.
Yep.
Luckily in the randomizer, that door will always stay open once you have opened it.
That's not true.
Not the case in...
The door will shut,
doesn't?
but you can continually use City Crest.
Ah, that's how it was. Right.
Yep. So,
yeah, I remember that you can get through that door repeatedly.
Yes.
But it seems the exact detail was fuzzy for me.
Yep. So
I've never used that door in randomizer, so
there's not really a reason to unless you have the goal to do it.
Yeah, and even then, I think the better way of doing that is riding the 2 elevators and then getting the crest on the way down into fungal waste from the city or something. Probably. I mean, it depends a bit on your loadout, of course.
Yeah,
it seems
if you have Claw and Dive, you can get to the left side from the right side of that door, but otherwise, yeah, it's a little bit awkward.
It's very quick to get to that side too if you have Dash and Claw.
Yep.
Or Dive and Claw. It seems like Mage is deciding to clear out all the grubs in Crystal Peaks. Luckily, he does have Dash, so he's not going to have any problems with the Crushers.
He still doesn't have Claw though, so he can't complete this goal, but he's doing a lot of prep work for it now.
True. I'm not sure I agree with going for this goal this early. But again, he can't finish it, so it's not going to be a reserve goal. But I don't know. I like this goal is all the way on the other side of the board.
Not for Mage, it's not. It's on his home row. Oh no, the 7 grubs. He does have 20 grubs on his side of the board, so...
That is true. So maybe he's working towards the 20 grubs and just decided to do these because they're convenient and, you know, they might combo later.
Yeah.
He's deciding not to go for the quick check on Crystal Heart. He could. He does have Crystal Heart.
That's really curious to me. That Crystal Heart check takes about 10 seconds when you have Crystal Heart, so...
Yeah, it's really fast.
Maybe he's just going to get this grub first, then go back, but he was already in the room, right? So...
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he just is not aware of how fast it is.
He maybe has forgotten he has Crystal Heart.
He might. I mean, he's dashing around everywhere now. But he is using Crystal Heart semi-frequently. He used it just now in at the top of Crystal Peaks. Oh, VeloxiTea, you're down at 1 HP in the City of Tears again. The really unfortunate thing is, we know that he's not gonna find the stuff he needs. Or we can be reasonably sure, at least.
The only thing we're really looking for now is Claw. So, and, well, and Dream Nail, but...
And I suppose second cloak.
Yeah.
Which would be, oh, oof. Almost falling down there. That was scary for a second. I mean, if he finds a second cloak in Soul Sanctum, that would be great for him.
He's still he needs to make the Resting Grounds play.
Yeah, he hasn't done that for like an hour.
Yeah, and having Crystal Heart too, the Dream Nail sequence is very fast because you can, you know, use wings to get on top of that first like gazebo thing or whatever, and then just dash across.
Yeah. I really think that not going for the Mage getting more grubs in Crystal Peak. Which grub is it he cannot access without Claw?
The one past Cornifer. And it's Geo here at Crystal Heart. So
right, yeah, that grub. Right.
Curious that he save quit back here to come and check this.
That grub beyond Cornifer actually is accessible, but not from this side. He can Crystal Dash over from Dirtmouth.
But you would need to get up there first, which would require a shade skip from Green Path up into Howling Cliffs with like, yeah, it's basically not possible without Claw.
It's a very silly way to do it, but it is technically feasible. I mean, doing it in a randomizer would be stupid, but...
No, they're playing a randomizer. So he got Crystal Heart from somewhere else.
Speaking of, it seems like VeloxiTea is going to leave the City of Tears now? He did not clear Soul Sanctum. Is VeloxiTea aware that Resting Grounds is an option?
He has
because I'm
to
starting
be
to get
aware.
the feeling that he doesn't actually know that. I mean, he's I feel like at this point he's basically avoiding Resting Grounds. Can he actually get back up here? He's got to be able to get back up here with an enemy pogo.
Yep, that geometry was changed there. So it looks like this entire. Oh my
Running away
god!
from Belfries with.
Oof!
Sorry, I interrupted you there.
That death really hurts, but it looks like this entire play coming into left side of city was to get money from Lem. Because VeloxiTea is now leaving and not making the trip up into Soul Sanctum, so what was the purpose of all this?
Yeah, I'm so confused about this too. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure if VeloxiTea actually knows that Resting Grounds is available.
He has to. Because it's a Sphere Zero check with Darkroom.
Yeah, but I mean, the other option is that he's intentionally avoiding it at this point. Can he actually get out of here?
That door is still there.
He can't get out. How would he get out? He'd have to go through...
He'd have to go through waterways now at this point to get out.
Yeah.
He's not soft locked right now, but...
He can get through the big elevator too, right? The big elevator to Forgotten Crossroads. Not from this direction, but he can get to it, right?
Yep. So he is not soft locked, but... Man,
he's in a very bad spot.
Yeah, this is going to make getting out very annoying.
Meanwhile, Mage finding a heavy blow at the crystallized mound. And I believe he got the grub too. I actually wasn't paying full attention. Oh no, he did. Right. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like with every passing moment, VeloxiTea, like his insistence on not going to resting ground is just getting him deeper and deeper into trouble. And he's just not doing the play that he needs to make to get back into the game.
It's really hard to know if you're in VeloxiTea's shoes. Like, we obviously have the benefit of seeing both perspectives to know that something is in resting grounds, but at this point in the randomizer, you would expect that that would be checked. So even though sometimes it may not be something, usually you would check that by this point.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused that he's not been there yet. Oh, Dream Shield in Slice Shop. But Mage is gonna go for the Elegant Key instead, probably to prep the 2 Soul Warriors. Which means we might see both players converge back into the same area here in Soul Sanctum.
This is gonna
and this enemy is really awkward to manipulate. But it seems like he's VeloxiTea actually manipulating this guy very, very easily to get up there. Not a bad manipulation at all.
This is why I hate doing this left side, because there's so many enemy pogos with wings you need to do.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said it was awkward as hell. Like, this is such a
Oh no!
Oh. Yeah, it's rough to be VeloxiTea right now. Locking himself into City of Tears with almost no movement items is it's gonna be really rough for him. Meanwhile, Mage seemingly rushing over to Soul Sanctum via the Lem route.
Yeah, Mage. I know Mage likes doing this left side of Sanctum.
But this is not gonna work. He needs Claw for that.
Yep, you need to go through the rafters.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're in Mage's scenario here, I think you go and you open Spire and do it that way. Just to make everything open to you instead of going left side into Sanctum, but...
I mean, he did open Spire earlier.
Did he?
Yeah, he went through the Watch Knights to get to Lamb.
So then why would you go this way?
I mean...
That door up there isn't open.
Faster? No, he needs to jump up to it. But this might still... I'm not sure this is possible now. He's probably gonna do the enemy pogos as well.
Yep. Mage thinking since he's opened it from the right side that top door would be open, but it's not. You need to hit this lever over here for that to work.
Yeah, and here we see the power of having the dash ability in helping manipulate these guys. Mage doing this manipulation look extremely easy comparatively. Meanwhile, VeloxiTea needs to rely on just wings to get this, and it's a lot harder.
VeloxiTea's
both
through
of them
though.
finally passing this area. Or I say both of them passing, but Mage hasn't actually passed it yet. I just kind of assumed.
Hopefully VeloxiTea knows this pogo here.
Yeah, if he doesn't, then he's in bad shape. He needs that pogo to get, like, he actually needs that pogo to get out.
Yeah, you do. Mage doing it right away.
Yeah, Mage knows that it's possible. Also getting the grub. So Mage has 9 grubs now.
There we go. Okay.
Alright. VeloxiTea getting it. Maybe he just remembered. VeloxiTea not sitting down the elevator. That's gonna be a small time save for him. But he is so behind right now.
Oh, this is a mistake. You can't make it up the left side here, Velocity.
Yeah, you need claw for that side too. There are so many things in CR tiers that is actually claw locked. It's really rough to go through here without claw.
Yep, you're gonna
But
find
he's
out
doing
now.
the fight pretty quickly at least.
Can't make it up there. You have to go through the right side.
Meanwhile, Mage starting his Soul Warrior plays here, fighting the second Soul Warrior first.
Likely gonna go all the way through Sanctum and do all these checks.
Yeah, doing Soul Warrior 2 first is probably faster in that regard. If you already have the key here. I'm not actually sure, I haven't timed it.
Velocity not knowing how to get up here to Cornifer.
Oh, and Mage finding Dive 2 here. So he's got the first Void spell now.
Okay, now Mage is going up through the right side. Or Velocity.
He's also buying Hamak's favorite bench. This bench is actually used quite a bit, or not quite a bit, but in a very significant way in the 112 routing to warp back from getting the elegant key.
It's actually used in 100% as well. Where
For the same purpose.
pretty much the same purpose. Yeah, you come in to City through the left side, you go up to that bench. Or you get that bench after Soul Sanctum, I believe. It's been forever since I've done a run, but then you go all the way up, clear Crystal Peak, and then save quit back.
Yeah, that is exactly the routing that 112 uses for too. Mage fighting his second Soul Warrior with Soul Warrior 1 and easily dispatching it with a new Void spell. C1C marks the goal. VeloxiTea also fighting this guy, but a lot slower because he doesn't have the spells for it. Nor the movement. So VeloxiTea is very, very limited here.
Really interesting, though, that we see this convergence between our two runners.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for VeloxiTea now is that if Cloak is in here, then Mage is going to have the Shade Cloak go.
Yep, it's going to be a free goal.
Yeah.
Mage revealing that he's here.
Yeah, and VeloxiTea does require a Cloak at this point to even have a shot, like, to even have, like, the possibility of winning here.
Oh,
He
boy.
needs a Cloak.
Dream Nail.
It's not a Cloak, unfortunately, but it is the Dream Nail.
Does that really help? I mean, it helps
It
Mage
means
a little
that
bit with
Mage-
0 there.
Yeah, Mage can now do 0, but it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help VeloxiTea in the slightest because Monomon is not really accessible for him anyway.
There's only 2 Dream Nail lock goals in this seed, which is crazy. Well, 3.
Yeah, normally
3.
there are a lot more. 3 because Dream Gates.
Yep.
But normally there's a lot more of them.
But yeah, Monomon is not accessible right now because Claw has not been found. So,
Yeah, and Monomon actually requires Claw. Most of the Dreamers actually require Claw, if not all of them. Don't they?
yes, they all do.
Yeah, it's one of the few things that is really claw locked in this game. Most things you can kind of get around by using Shade Pogos and Wings, but the Dreamers absolutely require Claw. Alright, and both of them fighting Soulmaster. Mage almost dispatching of it before VeloxiTea even gets to start. Mage does in fact dispatch of him before VeloxiTea starts it. Soulmaster is an interesting boss because he's probably the first. Like, Hornet is one of the more difficult early bosses, like when you're just starting out. But Soulmaster is the guy who's really going to introduce you to the actual difficulty of Hollow Knight, I feel.
As a casual player, yeah, but once you've speedrun the game for a little while, Soulmaster is so very slow. Claw!
Oh, wow. Mantis Claw being found here. Ooh, that is unlucky, I would like to say, from VeloxiTea, to be honest. I mean, it's great that he's gonna have a claw now, but that's also gonna give Mage the claw, and VeloxiTea still does not have the other movement items.
Yep. It'll be nice for VeloxiTea to have that ability, but the fact that Mage has it now too, any advantage of getting it before Mage is just non-existent.
Uh-oh.
Please don't die here.
Yeah, this is tense. This battle is really awkward if you do not have the dash. You have to do these short hops, otherwise he will slam you and kill you. VeloxiTea is showing us some expert manipulation of the orbs, though.
Nice.
This swag kill. That was actually kind of cool. I approve of that kill. That took balls.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and a Bitch Shriek was there, which I suppose I could have inferred from a Mage's stream, but I wasn't watching just then. I was busy watching VeloxiTea fight it. This means that VeloxiTea now actually has a lot of damage.
This, unfortunately though, for VeloxiTea, this puts Mage absolutely in go mode.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Mage has no problems clearing out all the rest of the goals.
The only issue that Mage will be facing here is finding some randomized items. So.
And even that might not be a problem for him since he has Claw.
Yeah, it'll just be.
He can get he can get a Militia, Zero. At this point, even the Collector is not too bad to fight. The Hidden Stag Station is available. 3 extra notches is available to him. Traitor Lord and Causeon Sword if you really wanted to. He can get the Flower to Elderbug too, since that is actually all locked. High Knight, like. Mage has so many options right now.
We'll have to see what choices VeloxiTea makes here, but
yeah, I'm really hoping that VeloxiTea will finally start checking resting grounds because that has been open for so long. VeloxiTea also not using this crystal dash properly, taking a really long time to walk these distances.
Where was Dive again? Do you remember? I don't remember where both copies were.
Both versions of Dive. One was in... what's its face? One was in Resting Grounds. I think... No, by Boulder Shell.
Okay.
Boulder Shell and... what's the other face? Shade Soul. Were both dives, if I recall correctly. Oh yeah, of course, VeloxiTea doesn't have Dive, so he needs to walk out of here. Which is really slow. Meanwhile, Mage just starting with 0. Probably the best option he has of his tier 2 goals.
Yep. No reason not
and I
to.
imagine he's gonna go for Hidden Station after that. It's probably the easiest goal available to him. After that.
Not really worth it to hide this goal either because you've already revealed that you were in Soul Sanctum. Granted, though, he doesn't know where VeloxiTea is, but, you know, in Soul Sanctum, we both know that they both have Dream Nail at this point, so he's not hiding anything.
Yeah, and he's not even bothering trying to hide it. He's just marking it.
Yep.
With the advantage he has and the items he has, honestly, it's not really a concern to hide it either. He has such an enormous advantage at the moment. with 7 goals to 0.
Yeah. And we're an hour and a half in almost, and Mage has had dash
Mage.
almost this entire time, and VeloxiTea still doesn't. And still not using Crystal Heart for this long
Yeah, he's
room.
losing so much time to these. If I was Mage, I would go for the Hidden Station, then Elderbug Flower, and then either Fluke Hermit or go finish the Grubs in Crystal Peaks. I would almost feel like getting the Grubs in Crystal Peaks just because I've actually put in a lot of effort towards the goal at that point, right? And kind of don't want that effort to go to waste. But it might not be the best play possible.
I mean,
It might still be objectively just better to go to Fluke Hermit.
It doesn't really matter at this point if you're Mage. I mean, he kind of has the world just open to him.
Yeah, he can get any goal he wants.
Yeah. VeloxiTea not having achieved any goals up till now. Mage has complete control over the board.
Yeah, this is Mage would have to do some real strange shenanigans to lose this, I feel. And Mage, knowing that he can just easily go for the hidden stag here.
Yep. This is the right call.
Yeah. But by far the easiest goal for him to access at the moment.
Yep.
I think he could get 3 extra notches. He actually only needs 1 extra notch for that. But
he needs 3 more charms though to be able to get it, so.
Well, he could always go get the charm in what's its face?
Yeah,
in Fog Canyon, right?
He could he could go get that one. He could also just go buy 3 charms really quick, and then he would have the 6th notch.
Yeah, I mean, either's an okay option. The more I think about it, the more I might actually like the getting charm in Fog Canyon. That might have actually been faster, but it's not that big a difference. And this is gonna give him access to resting grounds anyway via the stag station, so. VeloxiTea considering buying the symbol key, but instead opting for the lantern.
Interesting.
Is he gonna go through the dark room now?
There's no reason to go dark room. You have claw and wings. You can just go past Salubra. You don't even need a shade skip anymore.
Yeah, I'm wondering, was he thinking you needed a lantern to go through that room?
I don't know. Looks like he's lost a little bit, checking his map. If he goes to resting grounds now, he's gonna... No, he's save quitting. Where's he going?
I don't know. He saved himself at the bench in City of Tears, right? He seems frustrated with those mouse movements. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it.
He's probably frustrated. Yeah, he saved here. I'm not sure what the point of this is. He... Maybe going to waterways, I guess. This is questionable.
This is subpar.
You can't kill Flukemarm right now because you don't have dive. So really the only reason to go into waterways would be to kill Dung Defender.
Yeah, and while I like that fight, it is definitely not the right option at the moment. Because there's nothing for him in Ancient Basin.
He must be doing the waterways grubs, but you need to go to Deepness for that goal anyway. So
yeah. So I don't know what he's thinking here.
He's probably just trying to think, I need a goal, so I'm gonna try and get the waterways grubs. But there's only one on this side of waterways, so.
Yeah, and the other, I mean, he can get to Isthmus tier no problem. Of course, he has both the Crystal Dash and the tier itself.
Yep.
But he still needs the Claw to get access to the third one. The Claw and the Tramp Pass to get access to the third one.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I suppose he has Claw, so that's not a problem. He needs the Tramp Pass.
He'd almost be just better served getting the scrub and quitting out and then going to Deep Nest. But his bench that he has up in Soul Sanctum is actually terrible for this right now.
Yeah.
Is he
I don't
going
know
the
what the
Mantis
plan
Lords? He's
That's
not.
the only thing in this direction, yeah. He might be going for... Maybe he just doesn't know where the grub is?
He probably just doesn't know where the grub is. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's going for the waterways grubs then. Unfortunate that this is not going to work out well for him.
Do you think we'll see a 13-0 sweep here?
Honestly, we might. I wouldn't say that's impossible at all. Like, with how much time VeloxiTea is losing, it's... Yeah, I'd say it's almost likely that we have a 13-0 sweep.
I would say that's our first of the tournament, but we've had two 13-0 results already, including one of yours and one of Axe's, so...
Funny how I was involved in both of those.
Neither were actual... Oh my goodness. Dying here really sucks.
No, neither were actual. Both of those were forfeits. This would be the first actual 13-0 sweep. If it happens. I wonder what... Mage took a strange route to deliver this flower to Elderbug. I guess maybe he was just feeling more comfortable with this or something. But VeloxiTea not having a good time in at all. Like this is rough.
Yeah, VeloxiTea's had a lot of unfortunate deaths. This is 5 or 6 now, I think.
Yeah. Okay, apparently Elderbug has some interesting new dialogue in the randomizer. I had never seen before. I would wager that VeloxiTea or Mage is going for the... No? Mage has a very easy Crystal Peaks grubs. Oh, maybe he just wanted to bench there. Yeah, Mage just needs to dash over and jump over the elevator, and he has the Crystal Peak grubs. It seems like he's aware of that. Mage is going to be a very scary opponent to play against. Clearly. He seems to know his game very well. And know what options he has at all times. I think VeloxiTea is trying to get to the Fluke Hermit?
I think so. He's lost. You need dive to be able to do this. I don't think he knows that.
Yeah. And Mage getting that Fluke or Grubs in Crystal Peak skull. This is I wonder what gold Mage is gonna go for now.
Please don't die again! Oh
Mage.
no!
Oh wow. And that loses him all the money too.
Yeah. That's time lost, money lost. I think you just abandon your shade at this point.
Yeah. I imagine that Mage is gonna go for Emilisha at this point. That's what I think is the shorter option, but he might be going for Deepness Grubs too. Seems like he's gonna go for Deepness Grubs.
Deepness Grubs isn't a bad option.
Well, true. It does also work towards the 20 Grubs goal.
Yep, it does. And he's already at 11, so getting the 5 will put him pretty close to that goal.
Yeah, at 16. And I suppose to get out of his third row, he would actually require either a randomized goal or go get the love key. So this is not the worst option he has available to him. I still think Emilisha might have been better. But... I mean, he could just go for all 3 of his home row goals, to be honest. 20 grubs, 5 grubs, and a militia would win him the game. He's doing some quick checks too. But it seems like he's just gonna go grab the checks that are in the way, basically. VeloxiTea still in the sewers. He'd basically have to get out to be he could jump down into the ancient basin connection, and then get up into the City of Tears east side. That's probably the best way out for him at the moment. But he seems to... I don't know what he's doing. Mage farming some soul off the mimics. Interesting. Uh-oh. I guess VeloxiTea is gonna go fight Tongue Defender. Luckily he's not soft locked, but he does, it's gonna be difficult to get out. He needs to either beat Tongue Defender or go through the other way. There's a way where you're supposed to crystal dash into Isma's Grove. You could get out through that way as well. But this is gonna be really slow because he doesn't have the dive, so he can't force Tongue Defender out of the ground. He does have Shriek, which he's using.
Really his only method of damage though in this fight, because Nail Zero is not going to do anything, so...
Yeah, Tongue Defender takes like, what is it, 80 strikes or something with Nail Zero? If not more. I can actually calculate this, hold on. Tongue Defender apparently has health that scales off your nail.
Does he? I didn't think he did.
No, well the wiki says so.
Oh, the wiki.
Yeah, I mean the wiki could be wrong for all I know. According to the wiki, he has 700 HP, and that would be 140 nail strikes with Nail Zero. So yeah, it's a good thing that he's using Shriek here. Doing this fight with Nail Zero only would be actual... like actual suffering.
And the fight's over. No problem.
I like the music.
Well,
oh, and he found a Great Slash.
There's our third nail art.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not a goal, so I'm not gonna help him. But he will finally be able to get out. I guess he's gonna go check Isma's Grove proper. It's the only reason I can see why he would go back again.
May as well, I suppose. He could get a militia this way, but I mean that's clearly on the other side of the board. He's not going to get that goal.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way he's going to be able to get a militia at this rate. Like even if Mage goes for all the grub goals first, he's not going to get a militia. Like VeloxiTea's not going to get a militia. He's not going out though, or maybe he just doesn't know where to exit.
Maybe he doesn't know the way.
Yeah, in fairness, this is an area that is not visited in any run. This specific connection.
Oh, he's getting his shade.
Oh yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, the tracker is messed up between a couple of them for the nail arts.
Yeah, due to some technical difficulties. And I believe this bench will save VeloxiTea here. He looks like he's thinking about saving it or not.
I think he's still trying to get the Fluke Hermit, but you need dive to do that.
Yeah, and to get dive, he needs to visit resting grounds.
Well, he needs to go to Baldur Shell, which is not going to happen.
Unless he gets to Resting Ground. Like, he needs the spell from Resting Grounds to open Baldur's at this rate.
Oh, right, because VS was there. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, I guess there was another dive by the Shade Soul, so I guess he could go get that. But that's ways away. It has been a long time since I saw this area of the game.
Please don't die again. Woo.
Those guys can be real scary if you're on low HP, because they're very fast and they bounce very little when you strike them. Mage finding the Shade Cloak, so he has that golden reserve now.
He's gonna be able to
That means
market
that
though
Mage...
pretty quickly.
Sorry, what?
He's gonna be able to market pretty quickly though once he gets all these grubs here in Deep Nest.
Yeah, I was... Oh, and he found Longnail too, which is part of another goal. I was about to say that with finding Shade Cloak, that removes one of the goals that Mage needs to get.
Velocity's just taking an acid bath, I guess, for a while. Okay, now we're going.
I mean, he did take one earlier in Fog Canyon.
Not gonna go check Isma's?
Maybe he's going for a militia? That's the only thing I can think of that's up here.
I think he's lost.
Maybe.
Okay, we're gonna go the vanilla route to Isma's.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. He has the tier. He can just swim in. But,
He's probably looking for the grubs where they are in here.
yeah, that could be a possibility.
Unfortunately,
For those
you
who
do
don't know
need
where the
tram
grubs
pass.
are,
What's that?
yeah, for those who don't know where the grubs are, one of them is right behind Isma's tier, which I guess he's trying to go for right now. And the other one is, well, on the top, and you need to get that one to Kingdom's Edge, which requires tram pass. So he needs to go to Deep Nest either way, if he wants the third grub. And we know where both dashes are, and we also know that VeloxiTea is never gonna find him at this rate. He does find Sprintmaster, which is nice, I suppose.
That'll speed up his movement by about 20% if he equips it.
Yeah, which is not terrible. Meanwhile, Mage Mage learning the interesting interaction that Cyclone Slash does not break down planks in this game.
Yeah, it's really curious that it doesn't, but it doesn't.
Yeah, like, I don't know why. It breaks down walls, but not planks.
Mage is
And
up
with
to
that,
12 goals now.
yeah. Mage needs one more goal. 3 more grubs or a militia would win it. We're just getting the charm notch in Fog Canyon. He can do that goal now.
He could also just buy one charm from anywhere and he'll have it.
Yeah.
Or just a check from anywhere. This race will be over very soon.
Yeah. This is VeloxiTea has had a very rough race this run around.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this board plus never checking resting grounds has really hurt VeloxiTea.
Yeah, not finding that dash it cost him the race by far, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's easily probably half an hour of just time loss because your opponent's going that much faster than you are.
Yeah. It looks like Mage is aware that he only needs a single charm for it. Yeah, and there it is. He's got the charm notch. Buying an extra charm for the swag, I suppose.
Yep, he's got all of them.
Double
That's
checking
GG.
to make sure. Yeah, that's all of it. 13-0 in favor of Mage. Mage showing us very competent routing decisions in general. being very good was the way to go.
Yep. I mean, this was already going to be a tall order for VeloxiTea to be able to beat Mage. Mage is a very, very good runner.
Yeah.
But compound on top of that some of the deaths that VeloxiTea took, as well as never finding dash. It was an impossible mountain to climb.
Yeah, that was extremely, extremely rough.
So yeah, did you? I honestly don't know that there's much else to talk about.
No, I feel like we got most of it said during all the walking, to be honest.
So I don't know that we'll pull either of the racers in.
I mean, Mage joined.
Oh, hi, Mage is here.
Left. And joined again. Hello?
And are you?
It's kind of hard to make out what you're saying.
Yeah, your voice is cutting in and out.
Always like that.
There you go. That's a little better. Looks like VeloxiTea is already DC'd from voice anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
I don't even want to talk about any of that.
Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, there he is.
That was pretty. There were like, so much of it was like just my fault for dying so much, but did you head to resting ground first, Mage?
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
Ah, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Resting Grounds also had dash. So
So yeah,
Yeah, and Vengeful Spirit.
I'm walking around at the speed of sound over here. Oh man, that was, well, I really didn't want to do the dark room, so I just said, okay, I'll just do fungal wastes with these Mystere, and then I started screwing myself over. I tried to figure out where the heck you were going with all the. When I saw that you killed Zero, I was like, oh man, he went to Soul Sanctum too. Was that where you found your dream nail, by the way? Oh man, I don't even know.
I had to kill 2 soul warriors, so I got to the sentinel and find
Okay.
dream nail there.
Okay, right, yeah. I wasn't sure what to do when I entered City of Tears. I couldn't get back out. Well, I couldn't get back out. So that's why I fumbled around in City of Tears for like 20 minutes doing nothing. Because I wasn't sure if you can make the ascent to Soul Sanctum and the tower through with only Mothwing Cloak. Or not Mothwing Cloak, but with only Monarch Wings.
Yeah,
But I
it
guess
requires a bunch of awkward pogos to get there.
Yeah, it did. It did require a bunch of awkward pogos to get there. I had to do it twice. So that was an overall frustrating match. I'm glad it's over. I wasn't getting any of those row 1 goals anytime soon. I guess I could have done Monomon right after. I could have done Monomon, but I thought, oh, maybe I can just get the grubs. Can't get all 3 grubs in one go though. In waterways.
yeah, you need to head the deep nest. You need Trampas for that goal, unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started looking at the map in more detail. I was like, oh, you need to get to King's. You need to get into King's Pass the other way, which requires Tram Pass. And I was like, oh no, I didn't have Desolate Dive, so I couldn't even get to Fluke Hermit.
Yep, that was at Balder Shell. So it's just really unfortunate that a lot of items that you just walked past or could have checked but decided not to held very important items this time.
Yeah, a lot of things were locked behind visiting resting grounds.
Yeah, resting grounds. Now that I wanted to avoid resting grounds for a while, just because I thought because I didn't have desolate dive, and I didn't want to go there and not full complete it without it. But I should have just dipped into resting grounds when I had the chance.
I mean, as soon as you got wings, that Shade Pogo at Salubra became trivial. So,
Yeah, oh, that's true. I didn't even have to go through Crystal Peak at that point.
right.
Yeah, there were just a lot of bad decisions I made. So I don't feel bad at all about losing 13-0. Totally deserved it. And played a good game.
Yeah, Mage, GG on that match. You played a really solid match that time. Not really any mistakes that we noticed, I guess, or at least no major mistakes. Obviously, everyone makes mistakes, but very solid match. And on top of Velocity not really being able to find anything, I mean, yeah, it was almost an impossible hill for you to get up, to be honest.
What can you do?